She's all alone. She doesn't have Jerry. He's doing his internship in Boston.
Cool. Hey, I made some food and I put it in the fridge for you. Yes, it is chicken, before you ask, but I also put some corn on the cob and...
Jeremiah is not thinking this through. He's not taking it seriously enough.
Really serious about...
His heart is hanging by a thread, Jeremiah's love is breaking apart, and Conrad's silence is louder than ever. Season 3, Episode 8 of The Summer I Turned Pretty is about to explode with secrets, heartbreak, and the moment we've all been waiting for, Belly's final decision. But the shocking truth is that this choice will not heal the love triangle. It will destroy it forever. The trailer has dropped hints. The release date is closer than ever, and fans are bracing themselves for a storm of emotions that could rewrite everything we thought we knew about Cousins Beach. Season 3 of The Summer I Turned Pretty has been building towards this one moment, and Episode 8 is where it all comes crashing down. From the very beginning of this season, Belly has been torn between love, loyalty, and her own happiness. Her engagement to Jeremiah has been a fragile promise, hanging together with hope, but constantly breaking under the weight of her lingering feelings for Conrad. Every look, every memory, every secret has been pulling her back to Conrad, even when she tries to push forward with Jeremiah. And now, Episode 8 forces her to face the truth. She can't keep running from her heart. This isn't just another love story. This is the breaking point that will change every relationship forever. The trailer makes it clear that Episode 8 will not hold back. Jeremiah is starting to see the cracks in Belly's promises. His trust is slipping, and for the first time, his love feels like a ticking time bomb ready to explode. Belly has tried to hold on, but the weight of pretending is too heavy. Conrad, on the other hand, has been waiting in the shadows, carrying his own heartbreak but refusing to walk away. In Episode 8, all of these emotions collide. The trailer whispers it, the release date confirms it. This is not a season finale to watch lightly. It's an emotional wrecking ball. Speculation has been running wild among fans, and Episode 8 is at the center of every theory. Will Belly finally admit the truth and shatter Jeremiah's heart? Will Conrad step in with one final confession that changes everything? Or will Belly's indecision destroy them both, leaving her alone at the end of it all? The writers have already proven they are willing to break the rules, from the shocking flashback scenes that left fans speechless to the bold emotional twists that shattered expectations. And now, Episode 8 holds the biggest promise yet. Belly's choice won't just decide who she loves, it will decide who she loses forever. But it's not only the love triangle reaching its boiling point. Laurel's growing rift with Belly has been building in silence, and Episode 8 hints at a confrontation that could cut deeper than romance. This isn't just about Belly choosing between two brothers, it's about a young woman torn apart by love, family, and identity. And the most painful truth of all, no matter what decision she makes, the beach will never feel the same again. The release date of Episode 8 is being marked like a countdown to heartbreak. Fans are preparing themselves for tears, for anger, and for the kind of emotional twist that makes you question everything you thought you knew. Because Belly's story was never about a simple happily ever after. It was about the messy, complicated, devastating journey of first love and the scars it leaves behind. Episode 8 is the moment where the lies unravel, the promises collapse, and the love triangle is finally ripped apart once and for all. Episode 8 is more than just the climax of a season. It is the unraveling of every secret, every promise, and every fragile hope that has held Belly, Conrad, and Jeremiah together until now. When fans look back at Season 3, they will see that every single moment, from Belly's hesitant smiles to Jeremiah's desperate devotion and Conrad's quiet heartbreak, was leading here. The trailer for Episode 8 doesn't just tease a finale. It warns us that the walls are closing in, and that Belly's engagement is no longer a story of joy, but of betrayal waiting to be exposed. Jeremiah's love, so pure and so full of trust, is fraying thread by thread. He knows something is wrong. He sees the hesitation in Belly's eyes. He feels the distance in her touch, and Episode 8 is where his world begins to collapse. He gave her his heart. He offered her his future, and yet somewhere deep down, Jeremiah knows Conrad still lives inside her heart. This awareness is a wound he cannot ignore anymore. The trailer hints at sharp, painful confrontations, words that cannot be taken back, promises that shatter in a heartbeat. Jeremiah's growing suspicion might finally turn into a devastating discovery. And for Conrad, this is the last chance. The boy who has loved Belly from the shadows, who has carried the guilt of pushing her away and the agony of watching her fall into his brother's arms, will face a choice too, to speak or to stay silent. Fans are asking, will Conrad finally step forward with the confession he has buried for too long? Or will he watch, broken and powerless, as Jeremiah loses everything? This love triangle has always been dangerous, but in episode 8 it becomes lethal, not because of physical harm, but because of the way it tears apart souls. Yet the love triangle is not the only thread tightening around Belly's life. Laurel, her mother, has been standing on the sidelines, watching her daughter make choices that feel reckless, painful, and irreversible. Their bond, once unshakable, has been tested to the point of breaking. Laurel has her own scars, her own lessons from love and loss, and episode 8 might be the moment she cannot stay silent anymore. The tension between Belly and Laurel is more than mother and daughter. It is a mirror of generations, of how love can both build and destroy, of how mistakes can repeat themselves when the warnings go unheard. The trailer carries whispers of a confrontation that could be just as explosive as Belly's decision between Jeremiah and Conrad. Because sometimes the greatest heartbreak does not come from romance. It comes from family. And then there is the shadow of time itself. Every season of The Summer I Turned Pretty has been more than a simple teenage love story. It has been about change, about how summers end, how innocence fades, and how choices carve futures we cannot undo. Episode 8 embodies this theme more than ever. Belly cannot stay a girl caught between two brothers. She must decide who she is, what she wants, and what she is willing to sacrifice. But the cruel twist of episode 8 is that no matter what choice she makes, she cannot win. If she chooses Jeremiah, she betrays Conrad. If she chooses Conrad, she breaks Jeremiah. And if she chooses no one, she risks losing both, and perhaps losing herself in the process. This is why the trailer feels heavy with dread. This is why the release date has fans anxious, because we know episode 8 is not just another episode, it is a crossroads where someone will walk away shattered. The fandom is already in chaos, theories spreading like wildfire across social media. Some believe Jeremiah will finally explode, his pain turning into anger that pushes Belly away. Others believe Conrad will confess at the last moment, leading to the cruelest betrayal Jeremiah has ever faced. And some whisper that Belly, unable to handle the storm she created, might walk away from them both, leaving Cousins Beach behind for good. Whatever the outcome, episode 8 is promising one thing above all: no one comes out unbroken. The beach, once a place of comfort and love, will now be remembered as the place where everything fell apart. And this is why fans are counting down not just to a new episode, but to the reckoning. Episode 8 will force Belly to stand in the ruins of every choice she has made. And when the credits roll, the only question left will be, who is left standing by her side, and who has been destroyed by the love she could never control? By the time episode 8 begins, the air around Cousins Beach feels heavier than ever, as though the weight of every secret, every hidden glance, and every whispered lie has finally reached its breaking point. Belly's engagement to Jeremiah has become a fragile glass shell, one crack away from collapsing into pieces that can never be put back together. And episode 8 is that crack. The trailer may not reveal every detail, but what it does show is enough to send fans into a frenzy. The silence between Belly and Conrad growing unbearable, the unspoken words hovering like thunderclouds, and Jeremiah caught in the middle of a truth that could destroy him. It is not just a love triangle anymore, it is emotional warfare. A war where there will be no winners, only survivors. This is why episode 8 feels so different. The earlier parts of the season still carried sparks of hope, glimpses of what could have been, romantic walks, fleeting smiles, and promises of a future that seemed almost possible. But episode 8 does not live in that world anymore. The tone has shifted completely. This is heartbreak at full force, and it is relentless. Belly's engagement is no longer a symbol of love. It is a ticking bomb that forces her to choose between pretending for Jeremiah's sake or ripping the truth out into the open and watching the fallout. And the fallout will not be small. it will ripple through every relationship, every friendship, and every fragile bond tied to Cousins Beach. Because once betrayal is spoken out loud, there is no going back. Conrad's presence in episode 8 is perhaps the most haunting. He has been quiet for too long, holding back feelings that only grow heavier with every moment Belly tries to live a life that does not include him. Fans already know the depth of Conrad's love, the way it hides behind his silence, the way it reveals itself in fleeting acts of protection and sacrifice. But episode 8 is Conrad's moment to face the truth too. He can no longer stand on the sidelines while Belly tears herself apart between loyalty and desire. The question is, will he finally step forward, or will he let Belly's engagement collapse without lifting a word to stop it? And if he does speak, will it be too late? For Jeremiah, episode 8 is the nightmare he never wanted to face. He has loved Belly with everything he has, offering her a kind of warmth and security that Conrad could not. Yet Jeremiah has always known deep down that Belly's heart was never fully his. This episode threatens to confirm his deepest fears. And the pain of betrayal, the anguish of realizing he might lose her not to chance but to his own brother, could unleash a side of Jeremiah we have never seen before. A side where heartbreak turns to anger, where love turns to devastation. Episode 8 could mark the end not only of his engagement, but of his bond with Belly forever. But the storm does not stop with the three at the center. Laurel's role in episode 8 cannot be overlooked. She is not just a mother watching her daughter stumble through love. She is a woman who has walked this path herself, who knows the cost of choosing wrong, of ignoring the signs, of letting love blind you to truth. Laurel's silence has always been heavy, but silence cannot last forever. Episode 8 hints that Laurel may finally confront Belly, not just as a mother, but as a mirror to everything Belly refuses to admit. And when that confrontation comes, it could cut deeper than any romantic heartbreak. Because what happens when the one person you expect to stand by you, the one who raised you, can no longer support the choices you make? Belly might be left more alone than ever before, caught between losing Jeremiah, breaking Conrad, and clashing with her mother. This is why episode 8 feels less like a finale and more like a reckoning. It is not just about choosing who to love. It is about what love costs. Every promise, every kiss, every moment has been leading to this collapse. And the cruelest part is that Belly cannot escape it. She must face it, she must live it, and she must decide. The fandom knows it too. Social media is on fire with theories, debates, and desperate hope. Some cling to the idea that Jeremiah will forgive her, that love can withstand the truth. Others cling to the dream that Conrad and Belly will finally reunite, that their love, no matter how painful, was always meant to be. And yet others believe the writers will rip it all away, leaving Belly with neither brother, a girl broken by the very love story she once believed in. The trailer has done its job. It has given us just enough to know that episode 8 is not safe, not comfortable, not predictable. It is dangerous. And as the release date approaches, fans are preparing themselves for an episode that will test every emotion, every loyalty, and every hope they carried into season 3. Because this is no longer about who Belly chooses, it is about who survives her choice. And once the credits roll, the beach will never be remembered as the place where summer love bloomed. It will be remembered as the place where love was shattered and where everything changed forever. As episode 8 looms, the very foundation of Cousins Beach feels like it is cracking under the weight of Belly's choices. What once was the setting of golden summers and childhood memories now feels haunted. Every wave carrying whispers of love lost, every sunset reminding us that nothing lasts forever. And at the center of it all stands Belly, torn between two brothers, two futures, and two pieces of herself that cannot coexist. Fans have always debated whether Belly truly belonged with Jeremiah or Conrad, but episode 8 makes one thing clear. No matter who she chooses, the love triangle cannot survive. This is not a story about romance prevailing against the odds. It is a story about how love, when stretched too far, eventually snaps and leaves scars that never fade. Jeremiah enters this episode with his heart already trembling, but by the end, it may be in ruins. The engagement, which once felt like a promise of stability, now feels like a cruel reminder of what he is about to lose. He has poured himself into Belly, given her every part of himself, and yet he cannot compete with the shadow of Conrad. It is that shadow, unspoken, unacknowledged, that follows him through every moment. Episode 8 may finally bring Jeremiah face to face with the truth he has always feared, that Belly's heart never stopped belonging to Conrad, even if her ring says otherwise. And when that truth rises to the surface, Jeremiah's heartbreak will not be silent. It will be loud, raw, and unforgettable. The boy who once symbolized joy and light could unravel before our eyes, leaving fans shattered alongside him. Conrad, on the other hand, represents the silence before the storm. He has carried his pain in quiet suffering, watching Belly slip further into Jeremiah's world while knowing he has never truly lost her. Episode 8 tempts him with one last chance, the final moment where he must decide whether to hold his tongue forever or to lay his heart bare, no matter the cost. For Conrad, the risk is everything. If he speaks and Belly chooses Jeremiah, he will lose both her and his brother. If he stays silent, he may keep Jeremiah's trust, but lose Belly for good. It is a cruel choice, and yet one that mirrors Belly's own. In episode 8, both Conrad and Belly are trapped in the same dilemma: to choose love and risk destruction, or to stay silent and live with regret. Fans know this is why Conrad's presence has always felt heavier, deeper, because his silence was never emptiness. It was the weight of a love he could never escape. But the emotional war does not stop with the brothers. Belly herself is unraveling, torn between loyalty and desire, between the future she thought she wanted and the truth her heart keeps screaming. Every scene in episode 8 pushes her closer to the edge of breaking. She cannot hold on to both brothers anymore, and she cannot keep hiding behind indecision. Her engagement has become a cage, and her silence has become a lie. Episode 8 will force her to step into the fire of honesty, and when she does, the fallout will be brutal. Fans must prepare themselves not for a romantic resolution, but for devastation. Because sometimes the bravest decision is also the one that leaves everyone broken. Laurel's shadow looms larger than ever in episode 8. Her rift with Belly, which has been quietly simmering all season, finally threatens to erupt. And this confrontation is not about Jeremiah or Conrad. It is about truth, identity, and survival. Laurel knows what love can do. She has lived through loss, through heartbreak, through watching dreams collapse. Her warnings to Belly have always come from experience, but episode 8 may be the moment she stops warning and starts demanding. The emotional storm between mother and daughter could be just as destructive as the collapse of the love triangle. Because when your mother no longer believes in your choices, when the one who raised you cannot stand by you, the loneliness that follows is unlike anything else. Episode 8 could be the breaking point not only for Belly's engagement, but for her relationship with her mother, a fracture that cuts deeper than romance ever could. And this is what makes episode 8 so terrifying. Every character is standing on the edge of a cliff, and once the first person falls, the rest will follow. Belly's choice is not just about Jeremiah or Conrad. It is about her family, her friendships, her future, and her own sense of self. The trailer teases the heartbreak, the release date marks the countdown, but fans already feel the storm in their bones. This will not end neatly. There will be tears, there will be anger, and there will be silence. The kind of silence that lingers long after the screen fades to black. The fandom knows it too. Theories flood social media not with hope, but with dread. Some believe episode 8 will finally cement Belly with Conrad, the love story that has always burned beneath the surface. Others believe the writers will twist the knife, leaving Belly without either brother, forcing her to stand alone. And some whisper that Jeremiah, shattered by betrayal, may never forgive either of them. Whatever the truth, the result is the same. Episode 8 is not about happy endings. It is about endings that scar, endings that make fans weep, endings that will redefine the summer I turned pretty forever. And when the credits roll, Cousins Beach will no longer feel like a place of first love. It will be remembered as the place where everything was lost, where trust was broken, where the love triangle finally consumed itself in flames. Belly's engagement will be remembered not as a promise of forever, but as the lie that brought everything crashing down. And the decision she makes will echo, not just through this episode, but through every season that follows. The countdown to episode 8 is not just about watching another chapter unfold. It is about witnessing the collapse of everything that once seemed unbreakable. Belly's engagement, once a symbol of hope and security, is now the epicenter of chaos. By the time the finale plays out, fans will no longer be asking, "Who will Belly choose?" Instead, they will be asking, "What will be left after she chooses?" Because episode 8 is not a love story. It is a reckoning. A reckoning with every kiss, every lie, every look that carried more meaning than words. And when the truth finally breaks the surface, it will drown the world she built with Jeremiah and expose the love she tried so hard to bury with Conrad. The storm begins with silence. Silence between Belly and Jeremiah. Silence between Belly and Conrad. Silence between Belly and Laurel. That silence is louder than words, heavier than any fight, because it carries all the weight of what no one is brave enough to say out loud. But episode 8 cannot live in silence forever. It forces the truth to come out, and once it does, it is devastating. Jeremiah, the boy who gave Belly his whole heart, will be forced to see what has been there all along, that she was never his completely. The pain of that realization will not fade with apologies or promises. It will burn, and it will scar. Jeremiah's tears, Jeremiah's heartbreak, will be the most unforgettable wound of episode 8, because betrayal cuts deepest when it comes from the one you trusted most. For Conrad, this is the moment he has been both dreading and longing for. Episode 8 may finally give him the chance to speak the truth, but speaking does not guarantee victory. Even if Belly admits her heart has always leaned toward Conrad, the price will be unbearable. He will lose Jeremiah, maybe forever. He will become the villain in his brother's eyes, the destroyer of their bond. And Conrad knows it. That is why his love for Belly has always felt tragic, because every step toward her feels like a step away from his family. Episode 8 is the cruel climax of this tragedy. No matter what he does, someone he loves will walk away broken. And Belly, caught in the middle, crushed beneath the weight of two brothers' love and her mother's disappointment, must finally face the mirror. Episode 8 leaves her no space to hide. She must decide, she must speak, she must accept that her choice will not bring happiness, only pain. But that pain is necessary, because lies and silence cannot hold forever. Fans will watch Belly step into the fire of her own consequences, and whether she chooses Jeremiah, Conrad, or no one at all, the aftermath will haunt her. This is not the dreamy ending of a summer romance. This is the brutal truth of growing up, that choices cost something, and sometimes that cost is everything. Laurel's presence in this storm only adds to the devastation. Her words, her warnings, her disappointment, they will echo through episode 8 like thunder. Belly may expect her mother to comfort her, to guide her through the wreckage, but instead she may find only anger, frustration, and cold truth. Laurel knows the path Belly is walking, and she knows the consequences. And when she finally speaks, it could leave Belly even more broken than before, cut off not only from the boys she loves, but from the woman she once leaned on for strength. The collapse of Belly's relationship with Laurel could be the final blow that makes episode 8 unforgettable, because it proves that this is not just about romance. It is about identity, family, and the painful end of innocence. And when the dust settles, when the storm has passed, Cousins Beach will never be the same. The fans will be left staring at their screens in silence, hearts racing, tears falling, because episode 8 is designed to destroy. It is not just another finale, it is the kind of ending that lingers, the kind that replays in your mind long after the credits roll. Belly's engagement will be remembered as the lie that shattered everyone. Jeremiah's love will be remembered as the heart that could not survive. Conrad's silence will be remembered as the tragedy of a love too deep to be ignored. And Belly's final decision will be remembered as the choice that destroyed the love triangle forever. The trailer may only tease, the release date may feel like a ticking clock, but fans already know episode 8 is going to break them. It will tear apart ships, ignite endless debates, and leave the fandom in chaos. Some will cheer, some will rage, but no one will walk away untouched. Because The Summer I Turned Pretty Season 3. Episode 8 is not just television. It is heartbreak crafted into story. It is the destruction of innocence. It is the end of everything we thought this love story was. And when the screen fades to black, only one truth will remain. Belly's choice came at a cost too high, and no summer will ever feel the same again.